Hi, my name is Darrell Davey, and I am the head game designer and owner of Oaken Hallow Games, which is a local game company based out of Cloquet, Minnesota. If you'd like to know more about us, you can check us out on Facebook at Oaken Hallow Games. But that's not what I'm here for today. Today, I am giving you my top 5 games of 2022. Except that's a little bit of a lie. Truly, what I'm going to be doing is giving you a little bit something different because I didn't really buy very many games this year. None, if I can remember accurately. I used to get into buying all the new shiny stuff, and then I realized that it wasn't ever getting to our table, or if it did, it was only getting there once before either moving back to games we used to play or maybe trying to catch up on some of the other games we bought and haven't played. And so I kind of got off of that track, and instead today, I'm going to be giving you the top 5 games that hit our game table more often than not. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the game that started it all for me, which is Zombies by Twilight Creations. So I started playing this early high school and throughout. It was one of the first games I played that showed me a game could be more than just Monopoly or Uno or some family get together, where this one had a lot more depth to it. It was told a story. Each night was different. It felt like you were part of the game. You could work with your friends, you could work against your friends, all with the aim of surviving the zombie onslaught as the map gets bigger and bigger. Setup is quick and easy, which is a huge plus for me. Tear down takes a little bit longer because it expands as you explore, but truly that's huge for me. It's pretty quick to learn, doesn't take very much at all, honestly. And I just think it's an awesome game. It really started my love for board games. So yeah, for that I'm always truly grateful to these guys for making such a wonderful game. You can buy, I think, even like a big box with all the expansions and that now. So if you haven't ever given it a shot, I strongly suggest that you do. Next up is going to be Boss Monsters. Now, admittedly, my friends like this game a lot more than I do. Not to say I don't like it, but they always crave it, and I tend to want to play something else. But this game does hit our table often enough for me to want to chat about it. I think that it's a fun game. It's full of Easter eggs for video games and TV shows and books, so that to me is really enjoyable. It's fun playing as the monster and building up a lair and trying to outwit other people. And truly, this thing comes out way more often than most of my other games do. And I think mostly because we can play it one, 2-player game, or we can play with 5 players. Whoever shows up, there's enough cards in here to make it work for whoever shows up to the table that night, which is big. A lot of games aren't as flexible in that regard. So I truly appreciate it for that. Give that a try if you have not yet. Next is going to be Star Realms. I wore out my original box, which is how much we played it. I cannot suggest this game more highly than I have. I use games at school as a teaching tool for reading, math, future problem solving, working together, winning, losing, all of that. I think games are a great way to teach social skills, and Star Realms is perfect for kids. First off, sweet spaceship art. Everyone can enjoy. Who doesn't like cool spaceships? Simplistic enough to where playing isn't too hard, teaching isn't too hard, and the availability to adjust the decks and the cards to your table. Truly, we play probably much different Star Realms than people would pull off of the shelf, but we've made it work for our game table, and I truly, truly enjoy the flexibility that this game offers as a card drafting game. It's not a super niche thing, like I have to be into this to really like this card game. The rules aren't hyper complicated. Pickup, setup, teaching, all of that is quick and simple, so that truly is huge to me. And you can play it in a bunch of different ways as well. I mean, think of any kind of Magic format. whether it be teams or double-headed giant or 3v3 or what have you, in this game can adapt to that, and that is really nice for me. And truly, the biggest thing, especially as I'm sure you have all done some shopping this year, it's cheap. A lot of games these days like to boost that price up as much as they can, whether it's more figurines or it's more this or more that. I think at the time of recording this, it's like 10 or 12 bucks for a 2-player pack. That's 24 for 4 players to accommodate most game nights. And that's a super cheap buy-in compared to a lot of other games. That's probably less expensive than even some Monopoly games at this point. So just the availability for other people across the board to get and play it is big. So if you somehow haven't played Star Realms yet, I do highly suggest that you give it a try. Next up is cheating, but it's my video, so I can cheat if I'd like to. A game that we often play is Liar's Dice. If you've never played, you get 5 or 6 dice, however many you want. You roll your dice and you're trying to bluff your opponents and kind of call BS on whatever else might be out on the table. What I enjoy about this is I can carry 6 small d6 in my pocket or 5 small d6, whatever. A lot of my friends do, and if we bump into each other, we're having coffee or we're waiting for something, you can pull out the dice and you can play a really quick game of Liar's Dice. I know it's an old game. It's not something that a lot of people think of when it comes to games, but truly it's so simplistic and it's so easy. It's quick to teach, and it's a lot of fun to try and lie your way through your friends. I cannot tell you all the places we've played Liar's Dice and the availability of it. And again, cleanup and setup is super fast because there's a bunch of D6. Everyone has those, right? So a little bit of a cheat, but I'm okay with that. Last but not least is Feudal. This one is a little bit harder to get your hands on because it's just an older game. It is a 3M game. It's called a 3M bookshelf game. For those of you who have not heard of these ones before, they're made to look like these old tomes. I'll let you look at the back a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. The Game of Siege and Conquest. Now, this has been a ton of fun. My brother-in-law loves this game to death. My friend Justy plays it quite a bit. This is actually probably his copy. But you get to set up a little battle map. There is different elevations and types of obstacles, territories in the way. Your units do different things. So if you're into like wargaming or kind of tactical games, it makes for a really, really fun time. And we had bought it kind of on a whim because it looked neat. And if you're able to get your hands on a copy of Feudal, I highly recommend playing it. It can play up to 4 players, which makes each movement really fun to try and deduce what your people to your left and your right are going to do and how you're going to move your troops. It's truly a delight. So if you can find it, scour some eBays, pick it up as soon as you can. It is worth it. And being a game company, I can't help myself but say that both All Hallows Eve and Skirmish often get to the table as well. All Hallows Eve is hard to put a pin on exactly what it is. I've had many game people try frenemies, dudes on a board. I don't know, you're gonna have to check out Oaken Hallow Games on Facebook and look through it a little bit to see, but you can play as either the chaperone, who is trying to get the trick-or-treaters to all the houses and gobble up all the candy. If you get all the candy off the map, you win. Everyone else is playing as one of the many monsters that inhabits the world, each with a unique deck that plays a little bit differently to suit a myriad of play styles. And they are trying to gobble up the trick-or-treaters and wipe them off the map before the last piece of candy is collected. If the monsters do get rid of all the trick-or-treaters, the monster with the most trick-or-treaters in the end wins. So kind of frenemies in that way. The game itself expands and contrasts with how many other players you are playing. There was currently the main game and a monster expansion, some trick-or-treater expansions out and available for anybody who's interested. And also, we are working on All Hallows Eve double feature Graveyard Smash, which will introduce 2 more monsters and 8 new trick or treaters, and so on to the world. And I'm hoping to have that out by fall. The other game that we are hoping to have out this summer is Skirmish, which is a tactical board game. You make a team of 3 fighters with the goal of wiping out your friends. You can play up to 4 players on a single board. The game is lightning fast to play, very quick to learn, and it's nuts. It gets chaotic when you're playing 4 people, but in the best way. We are in the end of getting the rulebook sorted, the boxes, all the not as fun side of board game creation. But we are hoping to have that out by the beginning of summer, if not maybe midsummer. With that said, we highly appreciate people who come in, help us, give us ideas, carve out. Our local playtester group is getting bigger and bigger, and I truly think that is a blessing. So if anyone is interested in joining us and working on making these games even better for everybody, please find us on Oaken Hallow Games on Facebook, or reach out at oakenhallowgames@gmail.com, and we can maybe set up a game night or find a place to meet up, come here or elsewhere, and play a couple of games, because to me that's the most important thing, is getting friends around a table and playing some games. So with my sales pitch out of the way and my top 5 games of 2022, kind of, this is Darrell Davey from Oaken Hallow Games signing off. You have a wonderful day.